we can now take you to Nigeria because of course, days after the election, the opposition parties are heading to court over the electoral results. Kayla Mugwa is with our partners, Channels Television in Nigeria. Kayla, welcome to the program. So why is the Labour Party heading to court now?
Hello, Blessed. It's so nice to see you again. It's not just the Labour Party. We did know that after the election, we're going to have quite a number of people who are going to court, who are going to be challenging the results of the election, and those challenges have started right now. Today we had Atiku Abubakar, but let's go back to yesterday. Starting with the Labour Party, Mr. Obi is going to be able to get you exactly what he's demanding. To file the petition formally at the Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja, of course, challenging the declaration of Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress as the winner of the presidential election. So he's asking the tribunal to declare that Tinubu was not duly elected by a majority of the lawful votes that were cast at the election. They also want an order that is mandating INEC to retrieve the certificate of return issued to Mr. Tinubu and issue a fresh one to Mr. Obi. So basically, part of his demands at the Election Petition Tribunal are that, number one, wants an order that mandates INEC to retrieve that certificate of return that was given to Mr. Tinubu and issue a fresh one to him. All right, so that's what we're talking about, Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party. He's also asking the tribunal to alternatively make an order that cancels the elections and compel INEC to conduct a fresh election at which Tinubu, Shetima, and the APC will not participate. Actually, that's the second thing that they're asking. The third request is that they're alleging that at the time of the election that Tinubu was not qualified to contest in the first place.
Interesting. And on what basis?
The election was invalid. They're arguing that the election was invalid by reason of corrupt practices and non-compliance with the provision of the Electoral Act of 2022. So
and there's a question. There's a question even about why he's challenging the eligibility of Tinubu.
Yes, apparently the story that we've heard, and of course, this is something that is still being discussed right now. We're waiting eagerly for this court case. That there is a case against this man somewhere in the United States. Apparently, there was a situation where allegedly he had to accept that he committed a particular crime. I'm not going to be able to give you all of the details here right now. That he had accepted that he committed a particular crime, and because he had accepted that he had paid some kind of restitution for that crime, and that based on that he's not qualified to run for the seat of the president in Nigeria. It's still a lot of speculation. The lawyers have a lot of work ahead of them proving these questions that have been brought on by Mr. Peter Obi, and the next few days will be increasingly interesting.
I can imagine. And how about the constitutional requirements during this period? What happens? Because you also have coming up the inaugural ceremony. Will that take place? And what does the Constitution provide for?
So they have a number of dates when this is supposed to be. I think this case is supposed to.
Kayla? Okay. Looks like yes. Kayla, we lost you intermittently. If you could just take that point for us again. About the constitutional provisions and what may happen on the day of the inauguration. Kayla, can you hear me? Okay, looks like we're having some challenges there connecting to Kayla Mugwa with our partners, Channels Television in Nigeria. But if you've not heard about it, it's been confirmed now that the Labour Party will be heading to court, challenging the outcome of that presidential elections in Nigeria. Kayla, one more time, if you can hear me, we just lost you while you were making that point about the constitutional provision. Are you able to take that for us again?
Hello, is it clearer now? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. So the issue about the constitutional provision.
So I'm looking at it right now, section 132, subsection 7 and 8 of the Electoral Act of 2022. The election petition must be filed within 21 days. After that, that 21 days after the date of the declaration of results of the elections. And the tribunal will deliver a judgment in writing within 180 days from the date of the filing of that petition. Section 134 of the 2022 Electoral Act also provides that the party who intends to challenge the process and outcome of an election can do so using these grounds. Number one, a person whose election is questioned at the time of the election not qualified to contest for the election. Number two, the election is invalid by reason of corrupt practices and non-compliance with provisions of the Act. And if the respondent was not duly elected by the majority of the lawful votes cast at the election. And with Mr. Peter Obi and with Mr. Atiku Abubakar, we're seeing that they're bringing up all of these three questions when it comes to this particular case that they take into court. So that's where we are. At least they met up with the deadline of the 21 days after the date of the declaration of the results of the election. They were able to meet up with that. So they have 100, the courts, we have to get the judgment on these cases, 180 days, from the day of filing the petition. So Labour Party filed yesterday and the People's Democratic Party filed today. So we're looking at how those two situations will be sorted out.
Kayla, we seem to be losing you again. Yeah.
It will be before the inauguration. So we're following that timeline to see if we're able to sort that out. But meanwhile, Mr. Atiku Abubakar has asked that the court should declare him the winner, and Mr. Peter Obi has also asked that the court declare him a winner.
So let's get some clarity on this. The issue about who exactly is in court. Is it just the Labour Party, or there are some more opposition parties joining this?
Quite a number of them. The People's Democratic Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, like I said earlier, also filed today. So Mr. Atiku Abubakar is filing today. Then, of course, when Peter Obi filed yesterday, we had quite a number of other people I want to be able to get. The Action Alliance and the Allied People's Movement also lodged separate complaints. So we're looking at 4 right now.
The inaugural ceremony, will that happen? Per what the provision is by law? Will everything proceed until the court either overturns or sustains the outcome of the elections?
So we calculate the dates. We're in March right now. The inauguration is supposed to be on May the 29th. So we have March the 22nd till May the 29th. We're trying to see if we can calculate those days to see if it's up to 180 or if it's less than 180 days. But these proceedings, the judgment has to be delivered in writing at least 180 days from today or 180 days from yesterday. But the inauguration is supposed to hold on May the 29th.
If that doesn't happen,
it will happen.
Well, anyway, let's see what then happens. But how about the reaction from the Nigerian people themselves?
Well, it's still in the beginning phase. These court cases have just been filed in. People are still trying to understand the grounds, to understand these questions that have come up. Are these things going to be provable? Are there chances that this will be done? It's never been done. It's never been done in Nigeria. We've never seen a situation where court cases were filed and then immediately afterwards the outcome of an election was changed. We've never had that happen before. But we're watching to see how this particular one works out. Mr. Peter Obi is known for court cases and winning those court cases. He's also a man who's known, whenever, someone feels like he has been treated unfairly, Mr. Peter Obi is one of those people who will go the extra mile to ensure that he gets justice. So we all expected this. I think everybody from the Labour Party, even from the opposition party, they must have expected this to happen. And now that it has, we'll be watching to see what the outcome is. Let's see how far this goes. It's going to unfold. A lot of things are going to come up. There's a lot of things that are going to be brought up into the news.
Right.
So many developments are going to be coming up, and we'll be watching all of them to see what they are. And we'll be bringing them to you, hopefully.
Okay, and finally, how much of a bearing is this having on the governorship race, for instance, which just took place in the country?
Well, the governorship race is still on. Right now, I'm looking at the Abia State coalition sets. I think there's still coalitions going on in some states across the country. We still have a lot of issues that need to be ironed out. Because this is a very massive country, and these elections are held in so many places. There were disruptions in some places, there were issues one place or the other. So we have a situation where we have to wait. We cannot do anything right now but wait to see if these irregularities or these places where they have issues, whether it's violence, whether it's poor training of staff, whether it's diva situations, whether it's we have to be able to see how many of them are able to bring their complaints. And as the unfolding happens, as the days ahead, as the days unfold, these questions that they have, will they be able to affect the figures that have been, announced in some states? Are we going to see situations where some cases, some elections are overturned because of one situation or the other? We're still in the early phases. The elections have just held. We're still seeing collations going on across the country, but as they unfold, things become a lot clearer. Do these cases in court affect these situations with the governorship and state assembly elections? Not really, but they will come with their own set of challenges. That's my point. So the state assembly and governorship elections at the states will bring up their own questions. They'll bring up their own complications. They'll bring up their own, issues, their own court cases, even. So it's going to be a very busy time. We're jokingly calling this era lawyer season, because this is the time when everybody's going to court. So we'll be watching to see how all of them unfold, and then what's going to be able to be proven, what's going to be thrown out, what works and what doesn't. It's going to be an interesting time, Blessed.
Anyway, we'll be on the lookout for that. Kayla Megwa joining us from Nigeria. She's with our partners, Channels TV there. Thank you for the updates. Bye.